Imagine a car that vanished from the muscle car scene decades ago, only to return in 2026 with more power, sharper design, and a presence bold enough to challenge the legends of Detroit once again. The AMC Rebel Machine isn't just a comeback. It's a statement that American muscle still knows how to evolve without losing its raw edge. But is this reborn icon truly ready to stand toe-to-toe with today's heavy hitters? Or is it riding more on nostalgia than real muscle? Stay tuned, because what we uncover next might just change the way you look at this comeback story. The car we're looking at today is more than just another 2026 release. It's the return of a nameplate that once symbolized raw power, individuality, and a rebellious spirit on American roads. The AMC Rebel Machine, originally launched in the early 70s, carved out a place in muscle car history with bold styling and an attitude that stood apart from its big three rivals. Fast forward to 2026, and AMC's revival of the Rebel Machine feels less like a nostalgic nod and more like a bold declaration that American muscle still has fresh chapters to write. What makes this launch especially interesting is the timing. The US market is shifting rapidly, with buyers torn between high-performance tradition and modern efficiency. Dodge is pushing the limits of electrification with its Charger Daytona, Ford is doubling down on Mustang heritage, and Chevrolet is balancing performance with practicality. Into this landscape enters the Rebel Machine, a car that has to prove it's not just here to revive old memories, but to compete head-on with today's fiercest contenders. From the first glance, the 2026 Rebel Machine looks like it belongs in that fight. Its wide stance, aggressive lines, and unmistakable muscle car silhouette immediately grab attention, yet there's a sense that this isn't just a retro throwback. The question is, does it have the substance under the hood, in the cabin, and on the road to back up its bold looks? That's exactly what we're about to find out as we break down every detail of this new chapter in American muscle. From the moment you see the 2026 AMC Rebel Machine, it's clear this isn't just a nameplate revival. It's a full-force return to the muscle car spotlight. The exterior styling is unapologetically bold, with a wide front grille framed by modern LED lighting that still hints at the squared-off aggression of its 70s ancestor. A muscular hood bulge, sculpted side panels, and a stance that seems to hug the pavement give it a commanding presence on the street. Even parked, the Rebel Machine looks like it's itching to launch forward. And if the bold striping and retro-inspired color schemes don't grab you, the deep exhaust note will. Step inside, and the car reveals another side of its personality. The cabin is far more refined than anything AMC produced in its heyday. Premium materials cover the dash and door panels, while digital screens are neatly blended with physical controls, so it still feels like a driver's car, not a rolling tablet. Supportive bucket seats hug you tight, and there's enough modern tech here to rival Ford and Dodge. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a customizable 12-inch driver display, and advanced driver assist features that quietly remind you this car belongs in 2026, not 1970. But of course, the heart of the Rebel Machine is what's under the hood. AMC has equipped it with a 6.4-liter naturally aspirated V8, pushing out 485 horsepower and 470 lb-ft of torque, numbers that put it right in line with the Dodge Challenger RT Scat Pack and comfortably ahead of the base Mustang GT. Power is sent to the rear wheels through either a 6-speed manual for purists or an 8-speed automatic for those who want everyday usability. The result? A projected 0 to 60 time in the low 4-second range, with a quarter mile that dips solidly into the 12s. Not the absolute fastest muscle car on the market, but definitely quick enough to earn respect. Handling is another area where the Rebel Machine surprises. AMC has tuned the suspension to balance everyday comfort with cornering confidence, and the optional performance package adds adaptive dampers, Brembo brakes, and stickier tires. It won't outdance a Camaro SS1LE on a racetrack, but it's composed, confident, and far less of a blunt instrument than you might expect from a revived classic. And here's where things get interesting. While Dodge is going hybrid and electric, the Rebel Machine doubles down on a naturally aspirated V8. That move alone might divide buyers, but for purists, it could be the strongest selling point of all. Fuel economy, of course, isn't groundbreaking, around 15 mpg city and 23 mpg highway. But let's be honest, Nobody's buying this car for its efficiency. What buyers will care about is the price. And while AMC hasn't revealed exact numbers yet, early reports suggest a starting point just under $50,000. That would undercut both Dodge and Ford in similar trims, which could make the Rebel Machine a very tempting option for buyers looking for maximum muscle per dollar. So the question becomes, can this car truly deliver on its promise of being more than just nostalgia dressed in modern clothing? The numbers are solid, the looks are striking, and the experience behind the wheel feels raw yet refined. But does it have enough to stand out in a market that's moving rapidly toward electrification and efficiency? That's exactly where we'll go next. And the answer might surprise you. And here's where everything we've been waiting for comes together: the real-world drive. The moment you press the throttle on the 2026 AMC Rebel Machine, there's no hesitation. The V8 roars to life with a raw, mechanical soundtrack that's nearly extinct in today's world of turbos and hybrids. Acceleration pins you back into the seat, the rear tires bite into the pavement, and suddenly you realize this isn't just nostalgia. It's a muscle car with genuine firepower. On a straight stretch, the Rebel Machine surges forward effortlessly, delivering that old-school punch but with modern control. The steering feels sharper than expected, dialing in confidence through sweeping corners, and the suspension manages to balance aggression with livability. Push it harder, and while you'll feel the weight, it never becomes sloppy. Instead, it feels planted, eager, and surprisingly sophisticated. Here's the twist. On paper, it's not the fastest in its class. The Mustang GT edges it in outright speed, and Dodge's electrified Charger can outsprint it in short bursts. But behind the wheel, numbers don't tell the full story. The Rebel Machine feels alive, connected, and visceral in a way that spec sheets can't capture. It's less about shaving tenths of a second and more about delivering that grin-inducing rush every time you drive it. And then comes the shocker, the price-to-performance ratio. With a projected starting price under $50,000, you're getting nearly 500 horsepower, a manual gearbox option, and a driving experience that rivals cars costing far more. It's not flawless, fuel economy is forgettable, and interior space lags behind some rivals. But the overall package hits harder than many expected. So the big question remains, is the Rebel Machine just a stylish throwback? Or is it a serious contender for muscle car supremacy in 2026? That answer is coming in our final verdict, and trust me, you'll want to hear it. So after spending time with the 2026 AMC Rebel Machine, the verdict becomes clear. This isn't just a heritage badge slapped on a modern chassis. It's a genuine attempt to bring muscle car soul into today's market. The pros are undeniable. Aggressive retro modern styling that commands attention, a naturally aspirated V8 that delivers raw, unfiltered performance, and a price point that undercuts much of the competition without skimping on presence. Add to that the option for a manual gearbox, and you have a package that speaks directly to purists who crave the driving experience more than the spec sheet. Of course, there are trade-offs. Fuel economy is predictably poor, interior space is tighter than some rivals, and in terms of pure acceleration, it doesn't quite match the numbers of Ford's Mustang GT or Dodge's electrified Charger. But here's the catch. The Rebel Machine doesn't need to win every stat battle. What it wins is the emotional one. The sense that you're driving something with character, with heritage, and with a roar that refuses to be silenced by the shift toward quiet, efficient motoring. For buyers, the Rebel Machine is best suited to those who want muscle without compromise, enthusiasts who value sound, feel and presence over hybrid badges or EV range figures. In a US market that's rapidly evolving, this car plants its flag firmly in the old-school camp, reminding us why muscle cars became legends in the first place. And in doing so, it also raises a fascinating question. Is there still room for pure gasoline-fueled muscle in the future? Or is this the last great stand before the EV wave takes over? Either way, the 2026 Rebel Machine makes its mark, bold, unapologetic, and unmistakably American. But now it's over to you. Is this the kind of muscle car you'd put in your garage? Or do you think the future belongs to electric power? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you enjoyed this review, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the cars shaping tomorrow's roads.